The suspect in a police shooting in Sheridan was shot dead after a 30-hour standoff. Casper police see an increase in alcohol-related arrests. And even though the price of hunting tags is increasing, non-resident hunters say Wyoming's wildlife is worth it. We'll take a look at these stories and more today from Wyoming's largest news organization. I'm Wendy Kaur for Cowboy State Daily. After a 30-hour standoff, the suspect in the killing of Sheridan Police Sergeant Nevada Kringkey has himself been shot dead. Cowboy State Daily reporters were at the scene all day Wednesday as law enforcement officers used a myriad of tactics to flush out 46-year-old William Lowry from the house that he had retreated to after the shooting of Sergeant Kringkey. Reporter Andrew Rossi said officers hosed down the house, flooded it with gas, spoke to the suspect over loudspeakers, and snipers trained high-powered rifles on the suspect as they watched him move about the house.
For the afternoon, it's been long hours of just, basically both sides staring at each other. All the officers waiting to go, waiting for that call, and they've put 3 flashbangs into the building, I assume to try to flush him out or to disorient him. These were big flashbangs that were inserted at the end of a long pole through the building by a massive multi-ton armored vehicle, and that wasn't enough to dislodge the suspect.
Lowry was suspected of shooting Kringkey Tuesday morning as he was trying to serve a trespass notice at a rented house in which Lowry had been squatting in on 5th Street in Sheridan. Lowry fled after the shooting, then took refuge in a different house at the corner of 7th Street and North Sheridan Avenue. Sheridan is a town of about 20,000 people, but has a relatively low crime rate per capita compared to other Wyoming towns. Cowboy State Daily's Pat Mayo visited with people who live around the spot where Sergeant Kringkey lost his life. He said they reacted with sorrow and anger over this brazen murder in a community dotted with whispering pines and historic brick buildings.
Everybody loves their community. It's very tight knit. Everyone I've talked to almost uses the same words every time. I'm shocked. I'm surprised. I'm devastated. I'm grieving. I talked to the lady who actually delivers mail to this area, and she delivered mail to the house where the suspect, William Lowry, rented. And she says it's sad because he's got 3 kids, junior high, elementary, and then an infant apparently. And she feels for the kids.
Wyoming Governor Mark Gordon has ordered all U.S. and Wyoming flags be lowered to half-staff in honor of fallen Sheridan Police Department Sergeant Nevada Kringkey. I'll be back with more news right after this.
Do you know it's illegal to dig or excavate without knowing what's below? This is Jan Warren, Executive Director for One Call of Wyoming. We will be hosting workshops around the state to educate homeowners, realtors, landscapers, underground facility owners, and excavators on the state law, industry best practices when it comes to planting a tree, building a fence, or any other excavation project you have planned. Join us for a free breakfast, get your questions answered, and learn how One Call of Wyoming is here to help. Go to onecallofwyoming.com and register today.
The correlation between crime and alcohol abuse in the Oil City bubbled up for discussion with the Casper City Council on Tuesday with a question that's easier asked than answered: what to do about it? Cowboy State Daily's Dale Killingbeck reports that the difficulty lies in the question of where do you draw the line between abusing alcohol and just living your life the cowboy way.
One of the council members argued that, well, hey, Wyoming is Wyoming, and there's beer at rodeos and beer at football games, and cowboys and drinking go together. And the chief had a response for that, saying that, there's an economic cost to everything when he has to arrest somebody, when there's child abuse in a home and a child is taken out of the home and the state has to deal with that. It was a pretty lively discussion.
The average blood alcohol content of those arrested for alcohol-related driving last year in Casper was 0.237%, nearly 3 times the legal limit. And Wyoming recently hiked its prices for non-resident special draw tags to the point where elk tags in that category are nearly $2,000. Those prices and the complexities of applying to hunt in Wyoming and the West are making it increasingly difficult for non-residents. That's what one out-of-state hunter who loves hunting in the Cowboy State told Outdoors reporter Mark Hines.
It says he really wants to come to Wyoming, and he said, he's not happy about the tag price increases, but that probably won't discourage him from still trying. I mean, the guy's 64, so, the hourglass is kind of running out on his hunting career, and he wants to get out of here while he's still, fit and able to go into the Wyoming wilderness. He wants to do it.
Non-resident hunting tags might account for more than $40 million each year. And that's today's news. Get your free digital subscription to Wyoming's only statewide newspaper by hitting the subscribe button on CowboyStateDaily.com. I'm Wendy Kaur for Cowboy State Daily.